Right. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. This is a different type of video. I've seen a bunch of these on YouTube and I figured I'd do one on my own so you can get to know me a little bit more. I'm recording it in front of my favorite tree here at my new property. I call this the Jurassic Palm. It's something right out of Jurassic Park. I love this thing. And I got my other regular palms behind me here, my driveway, my house, my dreams come true. So that said, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll get started now. First fact about me, I am a mutt. I am a mixed breed. My mother is from the United States of Scottish and historically kind of Scandinavian genetics, but her families had been in the United States since about the 1600s, so they'd come over pretty early. My father was first generation for us. He moved to the United States in 1969, escaping the Russian invasion of Czechoslovakia. We were from the Slovakia side, and he started his life here. I met my mother at some point, and I was the first child, so I am a bit of a mixed breed. I was born in New Jersey. I currently live in Costa Rica. In college, I studied kinesiology, which is a combination or a chimera of exercise science, psychology, philosophy, and nutrition studies. When I was 18 years old, I was in a car accident in which I broke my neck and my back in close to a dozen places, so fractures throughout 4 vertebrae, and I shattered my tailbone, my coccyx actually. So that is the history of my spine. I have read over 500 books, and I own most of them. I am a cinephile. I am absolutely addicted to cinema and movies from all eras. I have over 1,000 DVDs, probably over 1,200 at this point, and I've seen thousands of movies. I've memorized hundreds of movies. It's weird. I have 3 rescue dogs. My oldest, the first, is a bulldog, an English bulldog mix. The other is a little black fox look-alike, and the last is someone I picked up here in Costa Rica. He's a German Shepherd, or Aleman. When I was younger, I had a terrible fear of spiders. Now that I'm in Costa Rica, I can't have that fear anymore. It'll kill me. At 7 years old, I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, and I had conquered it a few years later, which I was told was impossible. In my experiences in the forest, I have encountered mountain lions, bobcats, coyotes, lynx, and several other predatory animals, and I survived. I've lived in Slovakia for an entire summer once, or most of a summer, while I was in college. A wild experience in a very different place to exist. Very interesting stuff. I practice Kung Fu in everything I do, every day. To me, like Jackie Chan said in The Karate Kid, everything is Kung Fu. I currently own a farm. One of my favorite things to do is skateboard. I love to skateboard. I owned a gym for close to 7 years. That was my main business. I have been on a television show. I really love to walk on my hands. I met my idol once, Allen Houston, a former New York Knicks basketball player. I had just finished a week-long charity mission in New Orleans right after Hurricane Katrina to help rebuild as much as we could. And after this deeply rewarding and spiritual experience I had had, the universe provided me the opportunity to meet my idol, someone who had inspired me to do good in my community. How cool is that? I sell crystals for fun on the side to help collectors grow, but I also love crystals and I have a connection to a huge, really awesome wholesale company and mining company, so I get some of the world's best crystals and I really love to sell them and share them with people. I like to paint. In my free time, when it's rainy season here in Costa Rica, my favorite thing to do is paint. I have smoked cannabis since I was 13 years old. While I'm recording this video, I am 36. So 2/3 of my life almost, I have smoked cannabis. Pretty cool. I'm super healthy, super happy. It's led me to a lot of insightful, intuitive decisions in my life. So, something to consider. I can jump supernaturally high. I don't know what takes credit for it. Maybe a lifetime of soccer, maybe some weird genetic manifestation. I just always watch people playing basketball and dunking the basketball, and despite being an under 6-foot white boy, I was always able to do it because what I saw in my mind was me doing it, so my body followed. I dunked for the first time on a 10-foot regulation hoop when I was 13 years old. And it's been a phenomenon since. At the highest I could jump, I could put my elbow in the rim like Vince Carter did in the dunk contest. Now I'm just about 5'11", and Vince Carter is maybe 6'7" or 6'8", and he won the dunk contest in the NBA. So it's been a pretty cool thing that I can float on the air. Mentally, I discovered a long time ago that air actually has density. Not as much as water, but similar to water, and air is filled with a lot of water. So what's interesting is we can manipulate how we move through the elements based on our understanding of the elements. Take that into consideration next time you think you can't do something. Figure out the science. I wake up at sunrise every day. I don't set an alarm. As soon as the sun starts rising, something within my circadian rhythms and body wakes me up. There's nothing I can do about it. I can try to go back to sleep. I will continue to wake up over and over and over again. At this point, I have come to the conclusion that my reality completely mimics the Super Mario Brothers video games. Themes, concepts, a lot of the elements in those video games make a lot of sense for my life, so it's almost my religion at this point. Super Mario. My favorite color is purple. Always has been, always will be. There's a lot of reasons for it, but purple saved my life, and I'll get into that in another video. I purchased my first home when I was 25 years old. Cash. No mortgage, no bank involved. I did it all on my own. I highly recommend it. It liberates you to a certain freedom that most people in society don't understand. Do it. I 100% believe magic to be real. I qualified for Ninja Warrior, the TV show, twice. Interviewed with the producers and declined going on the show because I had my gym at the time, and although it would have been great publicity and my members would have been proud, I would have been leaving them, and that's not what my purpose was. My purpose was to help other people, so I declined being on the show. I really don't like alcohol. I don't drink it. Every time I do drink it, I don't enjoy myself. It takes me out of my character. I don't like who I become with alcohol. I don't like who other people become when they drink alcohol. It's really not a good thing. I won't tell anybody not to drink, but I don't like it. It's really a disgusting habit humans and people have. My favorite song of all time is named Clair de Lune by Claude Debussy. My favorite book of all time is The Great Gatsby. No matter how many books I read, that one that I read in elementary school always is my favorite. A lot of my life is similar to Jay Gatsby. My favorite movie of all time, which has changed over the years. I used to have a handful of movies, I would say, because I've watched so many and there's so many different aspects to what makes my favorite. But absolutely my favorite movie, hands down, times 10, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It's undeniable. It's my favorite movie. Everything about it is perfect. It's the most well put together cinema experience I've ever had. I've watched it at least 100 times. It's kind of based on a video game type reality, so I can relate to it a lot. I said a few moments ago that Super Mario Brothers is kind of the reality I live. Well, Scott Pilgrim as well. Hands down, my favorite food of all time, ice cream. And now that I'm in Costa Rica, the flavors have expanded so much, so it's only becoming more of my favorite, amplifying every day. For about a year, I focused on running Spartan races. I was trail running, I had gotten pretty efficient at climbing, so I took my shot, and for I think the 3 or 4 races I did, I qualified in the elites, which is like the pro sector, in top 20. So I was top 20 in my region or in the country, and then I decided, okay, I'm over it. Switched up a little bit. I lost my virginity at 17 years old. I have never once in my life eaten ramen. All of my dogs have Disney names. Not by choice. Years ago, I had made friends with a comedian named Paul Mooney, who had been featured on The Cinephile show. After we became friends, I attended some of his stand-up shows, and he actually used me and my name as a bit in his stand-up show and his comedy, which is really cool. My father, upon first coming to this country, was a pro soccer player and was recruited by the New York Cosmos. So a lot of my so-called uncles growing up were Berkemeyer, Eskandarian, Beckenbauer. My father was friends with Pele, legitimately. So pretty cool soccer legacy I come from. I would rather be barefoot than wear shoes or anything on my feet. All the time. Doesn't stop. Barefoot everywhere, all day, doing yard work, farming, playing soccer, whatever it is. And Costa Rica is really cool. They don't require shoes anywhere, so you can go to restaurants, supermarkets, anywhere you want barefoot. Very cool place. I am, and have always been, ambidextrous. It's very cool, but the things work in opposites, at least when I was younger. Now everything's pretty much trained the same. But when I was younger, I would write with my left hand, I would kick with my right foot. Everything was mixed up and all backwards. I'm naturally a lefty, so if I pick something up like a bow and arrow, my left arm wants to be the pullback, but my right eye is my primary eye. So I actually have to shoot right-handed if I want to be more accurate. So it's been a very interesting lifetime. Growing up, I never knew which hand to choose to write or draw, so I used both. I taught myself very similarly to Benjamin Franklin and Leonardo da Vinci, who I've read a lot of, both of which wrote with both hands. They also wrote forward and backwards with both hands, and something else I learned was they both could write two different things at the same time with a different hand, and I learned to do that as well. So, Nikola Tesla inspired my life path more than any other being in history. I have been in love once in my entire lifetime. I have experienced true, real, soulmate, destiny love, and it was amazing. My left foot is half a size or half an inch larger or longer than my right foot. How weird. My first job ever was as a soccer referee. I play the harmonica as a musical instrument. When I was in high school, I received 11 out of 12 possible varsity letters for sports. Although I received the Pura Vida tattoo when I got to Costa Rica, I live by the creed of Hakuna Matata. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy. I grow and sell ayahuasca, the god plant, but I've never taken it.